Dr. Bedi, two families, who come from completely different stratas of life are suffering because it was somebody's responsibility to ensure that there is A, no waterlogging, B, there are, proper checks. These wires are not left hanging. It is somebody's responsibility, ma'am. Who would you take responsible for these unnecessary deaths?
I think you've shown two incidents. One incident which has happened in a poorer colony, is the resettlement colonies, where loose wires is the norm. Loose wires is the norm. Hanging loose wires is the norm. In summers, they cause fire, and in monsoons, they cause electrocution. So loose wires is the norm because of the living conditions. It's because of living conditions. Nothing else. And everybody's responsible because these are the way people, overpopulation lives. Safety is not their issue. Don't you see many times वो रेडी वाले हुक लगा के तार लेते हैं और अपने यहाँ लाइट लगाते हैं. It's all loose wires. We are so in summers they cause fire and in monsoons they cause electrocution. And these incidents, those few incidents which come to our notice. So it's a monsoon. This is a monsoon. The question is, do we have the money? Do we have the budgets to ensure proper living conditions for these JJ colonies, these clusters? No. Do you know, I remember many years ago when I was on the electioneering those days.
Yes.
My truck used to go under the loose wires. And I almost escaped electrocution. They were all hanging wires. And I had to dip every time my head to save myself. So loose wires hanging in houses, on the roads around is not an exception. It's the way we live. But safety, consider safety.
Absolutely.
But the second incident.
Yes.
The second incident of Sakshi is a negligence. Is a negligence also of the department, of the municipal services. Now there, where monsoons, you need to clear out these. See, somewhere it's an official negligence, somewhere it's a citizen negligence. It's both ways. And sometimes where it is a matter of living conditions. This is what's happening.
But ma'am, when, like you said, most of the time, people, those who fight election, win election, these are the promises that they make to the citizens. Better amenities, improve infrastructure. If they are not able to fulfill these promises, shouldn't there be examples made of people, those who make these kind of promises and then do not deliver these services to the citizens?
Obviously, it's a non-performance of their responsibilities. Do they go house to house in normal time? Whether it's summer or winter, do they go house to house? But the question is, if they go house to house, who's going to pay for a proper electricity? Who's going to pay for a proper? Who's paying? Where's the money? The point is, where is our money going? If our money goes into wasteful expense, then where's the money left for this? Where does the voter evaluate which kind of elected representative, how did he spend the money? Because money is limited. Either you spend it on wasteful expenditure or expenditure which could be saved. And instead you put it on where life can be saved. I think this is an evaluation to be done by voters. But is the voter conscious of this? Secondly is the municipal, where the municipal services during the monsoon should take stock of the situation. And wherever you have hanging wires, loose wires, why are they not settled before? There is a standard operating procedure, which that they do a checklist and they tick the boxes that they've done it. And do they hold an area responsible, officer responsible? So it's negligence of duty, but it's also negligence of the way we live.
Absolutely.
And the way we live, and we live on the brink. We all do live on the brink. And the poorer you are, the more you live on the brink.
Absolutely. Lack of choices, and then, of course, the way our amenities are supposed to function, they don't. Dr. Bedi, thank you so much for speaking to us and putting this point of view forward. Two lives, a 35-year-old woman, a 17-year-old boy, unnecessarily been snuffed, their families made to suffer. these are absolutely avoidable cases with some, in fact, focus of the authorities and check could have been avoided.